Hello, welcome to the lunch edition of MBC News, and you are with me, Evelis Chingambi. The headlines. The International Monetary Fund pledges support to bail Malawi out of its forex situation. Over 4,000 people in dire need of urgent support after being affected by disasters since the onset of the 2025-2026 rainy season. And in sports, Mighty Wanderers ride Sulum on poor match officiation. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. Government has appealed to the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to help Malawi in addressing the forex situation as the country switches into value addition of its mineral resources. President Mutharika made the remarks when he held an interface with an IMF team at Mtuntama State Lodge in Lilongwe. The president highlighted that the country is grappling with high public debt, hence the urgent need for IMF's intervention.
Of course, long term is to find resources, forex, and also to restructure the debt. And I think this way we hope we can get support from the IMF and of course your sister organizations who are heavily indebted both to the private and also the official institutions. Heavily indebted, and we have to restructure them. At the moment, all the revenue we get actually going into debt servicing, and to keep borrowing more and more just to carry out day-to-day affairs of government, of state. So debt servicing is something that we're working on, and we're hoping that the IMF can assist us also to ease maybe some of the requirements you have in debt restructuring. So that's medium need that the debt situation, and of course for medium to long term, we have the obviously. We need to produce our own forex. We're hoping that at the moment IMF can assist us. I understand we have assisted other countries. I understand Ethiopia about $11 million US, Zambia about $21 million, and we're asking for very little compared with those two countries.
In his remarks, IMF Director for Africa, Abebe Selassie, has pledged to support Malawi in addressing its urgent needs.
IMF basically helps countries address macroeconomic challenges that they're facing. So we can do this through policy advice, we can do this through capacity development, technical assistance, and we can also do this through financing. And we're going to try and use all three modalities to support Malawi.
The three-day 7th African Union, European Union Summit and the Extraordinary African Union Summit commence in Angola's capital, Luanda, this afternoon. Vice President Dr. Jane Ansah is leading Malawi's delegation at the summit, being held under the theme Promoting Peace and Prosperity Through Effective Multilateralism. Meanwhile, Malawi is expecting stronger commitment from the European Union on energy, digital infrastructure, trade, facilitation and support for industrialization agenda. Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Dr. George Chaponda made the remarks in an interview with our reporter Simeon Boyce, who is in Angola.
Today is to more or less stock taking to see how far they have done what they have done and what else they can do in order to strengthen further that cooperation. The issues involved, especially between the African Union and the European Union, as you know, European Union in the context of Malawi is our strongest partner, among the strongest partner, and we rely upon them in terms of the grants which they have given us, loans and technical assistance, facilitation of trade, and even energy. There's so much, and especially now with the agenda of His Excellency the President, Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, of focusing on industrial development. It is very important that it is very important and timely that this meeting is taking place, because we will take advantage of this meeting in order to pursue our agenda in terms of industrial development, energy facilitation, trade facilitation, and so many other things. And I think it's very, very important ourselves, because we are coming to this meeting after we have just had a successful meeting in Morocco, where the Moroccans agreed to establish a fertilizer factory in Malawi, among other things, and also establish a 500 megawatts solar energy, and to also give us fertilizer and so on. This complements what we will be doing here, because if from that fertilizer factory, which will be established in Malawi, and if the EU also assist us indirectly in other areas involving digital industrialization and marketing, that will complement each other.
The bilateral relations between Malawi and Uganda can help in deepening trade and investment cooperation to boost the economies of the two countries if properly leveraged. Uganda's High Commissioner to Malawi, Fred Mwesigye, met the sentiments at this year's Uganda-Malawi Business Forum and exhibition in Lilongwe. Details with Jinsisi Moyo.
The Uganda-Malawi Business Forum brought together business leaders, investors and innovators with one common ground of showcasing products and services offered in the two countries. Uganda's High Commissioner, Fred Mwesigye, announced a partnership that will see the introduction of direct flights between Lilongwe and Entebbe in Uganda to roll out on 15th December. This, according to the High Commissioner, will strengthen business links and support new partnerships.
Connectivity is very, very important in any trade transaction. So we are happy to announce that Malawi Air will be flying to Entebbe from 15th December. And on that flight, we're going to carry 10 to 15 business people who will be coming to Uganda to benchmark and to get connected to other counterparts of theirs. And that will be the beginning of easy connectivity between Malawi and Ugandan business people.
Representing the Malawi government, Spiwe Maua, Director of Administration in the Ministry of Industrialization, Business, Trade and Tourism, said Malawi offers vast investment opportunities in agribusiness, manufacturing, mining, energy, tourism and services.
There are so many people that are asking, what is it that I can do to export our products to Uganda? Again, we have also seen Ugandans that they have come here in Malawi, they want to invest, they want to do business, but they have faced a lot of problems that maybe they're actually being discouraged. So we've got MRA, Malawi Revenue Authority, that will provide information in terms of what are the tax holidays that you get. So this forum is the right forum that as government, we know after this session there will be B2B, business to business, and also government to government sessions.
Acting Director of Trade Promotion and Facilitation at Malawi Investment and Trade Center, MITC, Love Mondege, described the forum as vital to the growth of business and trade between the two countries.
Malawian businesses can buy various products in Uganda. Malawi Airlines is going to start operations on the 15th of this of December to Uganda. So it's going to promote tourism between the two countries.
Through the forum, private sector players from both countries explored new opportunities and areas of cooperation in trade and business. Jinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Mzimba North records 10 to 15 cases of hepatitis B every quarter, and a significant number of those affected are pregnant women. Vital Hepatitis Coordinator for Mzimba North District Health Office, Martha Mutali, says the cases highlight the need for increased awareness and testing. Moving on to our next story, the 2025 Nation Publications Limited Mothers Fund Run initiative has raised over 800 million kwacha, which is the highest amount ever raised in the history of the campaign. This has exceeded this year's target of 500 million kwacha. Chief Executive Officer for NPL, Mbumba Banda, says the initiative is making huge impact in Malawi's maternal health. Main Tumotsi reports.
The scene this year is set at Kasungu District Hospital. Shockingly, a visit to the hospital reveals grave challenges the district is facing in providing universal health care. For instance, the nursery, with a capacity of 30 beds, on this particular day has 42 babies on admission. The congestion story is in each and every ward in the hospital, which was built in 1967 when the population of the district was only 100,000. Noron Kubi, Member of Parliament for Kasungu Municipality, is worried with the status quo and calls for support.
We are facing a number of challenges, especially in the maternity wing, and this is a stage in time. As a Member of Parliament, I would want to extend a call to other well-wishers to come to our rescue. This facility was built in 1967. Then the population was about 100,000, but now our population is over 1 million. So it is saving a lot of people, and we need a lot of resources so that we can sustain our healthcare systems.
The district, however, has a reason to smile because the 2025 Mothers Fund run by the Nation Publications Limited NPL has managed to raise over 800 million kwacha worth of equipment. NPL Chief Executive Officer Mbumba Banda says there is a huge impact the Mothers Fund run initiative has had over the years.
My message to people is that there is no good reason for why a mother or baby should die. We have just heard from the Deputy Director of Health Services from the Ministry of Health. He has said of the mothers and babies that die, 80% of the issues are preventable. And my message is that every small contribution, whether it is to equipment or to space or to furniture and fittings or to advocacy, any small change helps. And my appeal is for people to come together to contribute to a cause such as this one, because from all these stories that we shared today, it is very clear that we're making a difference.
Among the sponsors of this year's fund run are World Vision, who came in with a whopping 477 million kwacha, World Aid Malawi with 179 million kwacha, and Standard Bank with 30 million kwacha, just to mention but a few. Francis Due is the country director of the World Vision Malawi.
Child well-being is very key to us. We want to see children live very positive lives. We want to see healthy children. We want to see healthy mothers, and that is at the core of our ministry. And the National Publication Limited started this initiative, which as World Vision aligns very, very well with our overall objectives and mandate as an organization.
The Mothers Fund Run initiative began 20 years ago by the Nation Publications Limited NPL with the aim of mobilizing resources to reduce maternal and neonatal deaths in the country. Maim Tumodzi, MBC, Kasungu.
You're watching MBC News and you are with me, Evelis Chingambe. A reminder of our top stories. The International Monetary Fund pledges support to bail Malawi out of its forex situation. Over 4,000 people in dire need of urgent support after being affected by disasters since the onset of the 2025-2026 rainy season. And in sports, Mighty Wanderers right Sulum on poor match officiation. Welcome back. 4,360 people from 969 households have been affected by stormy rains, flash floods and strong winds since the onset of the 2025-2026 rainfall season. Speaking to NBC, spokesperson for the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DOTMA, Chipililo Kamula, says the disasters have so far affected 10 districts. They include Chitipa, Dedza, Dowa, Kasungu, Lilongwe, Neno, Nkata Bay, Nkhotakota, Sanjay and Cholo. Kamula said currently the department is monitoring the situation as severe weather conditions continue in some parts of the country. He explains.
Since the onset of the rainy season to Friday, 21st November, disasters, mainly stormy rains, flash floods and strong winds, have affected 10 councils, and these are Chitipa, Dedza, Dowa, Kasungu, Lilongwe, Neno, Nkata Bay, Nkhotakota, Sanje, and Cholo. A total of 969 households, and this is approximately 4,360 people, have been affected. One death caused by lightning has been recorded in Neno district, and we have also registered a total of 10 injuries. As DOTMA, we are reaching out to the affected households with food and non-food items, which include maize, beans, blankets, pails, and plastic sheets for temporary roofing. This is an ongoing program, and the department will reach out to all the affected people as per the verified reports from affected councils.
The ruling Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, has welcomed former Afod Member of Parliament, Yeremia Chihana, and Walita Nkandawire into its fold to strengthen the party in Rumpi. Speaking when he welcomed the two new members, DPP Regional Governor for the North, Christopher Nzomerangira, said the coming in of Chihana and Nkandawire will give the DPP an opportunity to have a wider selection of candidates that will represent the party during the forthcoming by-election in the area.
The ruling Democratic Progressive Party, DPP, continues to attract several prominent individuals that are coming in to strengthen the party at all levels. Latest to join are former Afod Member of Parliament, Yeremia Chihana, and Walita Moya Nkandawire, who have joined the party ahead of the forthcoming by-elections in Rumpi Central. DPP Regional Governor for the North, Christopher Nzomerangira, said the two new members will bring their leadership skills and knowledge that will help to strengthen the party in the district.
The party grow when new members are joining. That is when the party grow. And the people have welcomed here into the party, DPP. They are not just mere people. This is the sign that people of Lumpi, they have trust in the leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika. That is why they have told these sons of Lumpi to join the DPP.
Deputy Secretary General Edina Manda described the coming in of the new members as a vote of confidence to the leadership of Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika, who has been entrusted to fix the economic challenges the people are facing.
Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has always been telling the people to say, if you vote for DPP, you know what you're voting for. You know, as we come here today, the first thing we had to do was to thank the people for voting for him, and then we're here also to strengthen the party, to say more things they are coming. We are asking for people to have the patience to say, as our president is leading this country, there's a lot of things he needs to fix, and the better days are just before us.
Rumpi Central fell vacant following the appointment of Enoch Chihana to the position of second vice president of the Republic of Malawi. Several dignitaries, including Deputy Minister of Gender and Social Welfare, Martha Nzomerangira, attended the rally. Hassan Piri, NBC News, Rumpi.
Malawians have been urged to get acquainted with the use of artificial intelligence (AI) in order to beat cybercrimes. President of the ICT Association of Malawi, Clarence Gama, made the call in line with the growing adaptation of AI in various tech solutions in the country. Erlin Chimoyo has more.
AI can be used to detect threats, fraud, cyber attacks, as well as financial forecasting. However, AI comes amid growing concerns of fraud, phishing, hacking, and other crimes committed on the cyberspace, while pointing out that AI may be a double-edged sword in the fight against cybercrime. Gama stressed that there is still a way out in advancing it in securing the cyberspace.
So AI is just intelligence that is artificial, which means that both the attacker and the one protecting can leverage on AI. But the beauty is that for those people that are quick to adopt AI and learn how to use it to protect themselves, they will win. And here in Malawi, we've already seen other institutions deploying artificial intelligence-powered cybersecurity mechanisms and systems. So there are AI-powered cybersecurity systems that are available, and these are the ones that we are highly relying on to ensure that we are protected from these cyber attacks. And one of the good things about how AI can protect us is that user awareness, letting people know of how to protect themselves from cyber attacks, this can be easily applied using artificial intelligence. So if we look on the positive side, we'll see that we can leverage on AI to advance our skills, our technology in how we can protect ourselves from this cyber.
Gama's calls also come against the background of the rise in the use of AI to generate social media content, which most people are yet to master the art of distinguishing AI-generated videos, pictures, and messages from reality. According to tech experts, if used wisely, it has substantial benefits in sectors of agriculture, health, education, and most importantly, finance. Elin Chimoyo, NBC News, Blantyre.
Food shortage and unsettled utility bills are some of the challenges hindering progress of learners with visual impairment at St. Maria Goretti Primary School in Nkhata. Officer in charge of the facility, Father Andrew Kamanga, said this when receiving food aid from United General Insurance. Temba Male reports.
St. Maria Goretti is a Catholic-owned primary school co-managed with the government of Malawi through the Ministry of Education. Besides enrolling ordinary learners from its surrounding community, the school also has 22 learners with special needs, especially the visually impaired, drawn from different areas such as Mzimba, Mzuzu, Dwangwa and Nkhata. Parish priest for St. Joseph Parish, who also oversees the operations of St. Maria Goretti Primary School, Father Andrew Kamanga, says the intervention by United General Insurance Company, UGI, is a stitch in time as the school was running out of food.
We are very grateful to UGI through Prodata that today we have received at least a good amount of food, maize, beans, sugar, cooking oil, soya pieces, and soap. We are very grateful because this will take us at least a longer period, and maybe towards the end of this term and even more next term we can begin with this.
In his remarks, UGI Chief Operating Officer McDonald Chibwe says his company was moved to reach out to St. Maria Goretti following an appeal from Prodata, which is one of their clients. Chibwe went on to say that UGI will be reaching out to St. Maria Goretti Primary School on an annual basis with different kinds of assistance as one way of safeguarding the future of the learners.
We take it upon ourselves as United General Insurance that it is our responsibility to take care of our citizens, our customers, our stakeholders. So St. Maria Goretti is looking after visually impaired children. These are the future leaders of our country. So we partnered with this Prodata, who is fully responsible over this place, to sponsor some items to do with food, just to empower the place to make sure that the children are able to focus on their education.
Some of the donated items include maize, cooking oil, soya pieces and soap. Among others, St. Maria Goretti Primary School, which has 3 specialist teachers, enrolls children with low vision, total blindness and those with albinism. Temba Mwale, NBC News, Mzuzu.
And now in sports, Mighty Wanderers have written the Super League of Malawi Sulum complaining of biased officiation in the match against Silver Strikers, which was played on Saturday at Bingu National Stadium in Nalonge. The match ended 2-2. Our sports reporter, Norbert Jemison, joins us live to explain more on this. Welcome, Norbert.
Thank you, Eve.
So what are the contents of the letter and are the complaints valid?
The letter says Wanderers feel they were denied what looked like a legitimate goal, which was scored by Clement Nyondo in the first half when they were leading by a goal to nil. Clement Nyondo scored a goal which was disallowed for offside. So they believe the offside decision that the referees made, especially the assistant referee Samuel Fudzulani, said it was a wrong decision. So they are saying Super League of Malawi needs to punish the referees. They need to be suspended from officiating all Super League matches, and when they are back from suspension, they should no longer officiate a match that involves Wanderers. And they're also saying that Sulum should award Wanderers the goal that was disallowed, so that the score line should be 3-2 in favor of Wanderers. They want to get all the 3 points from the match. Those are some of the key points outlined in their letter.
Now, talking about goals and referees' officiation of matches, there also seems to be an issue with yesterday's match between Bullets, where the Bullets goal is somehow being controversial. Should we say that referees are actually failing at their job?
I wouldn't really say referees are failing their job, but some of these decisions are very tough for referees even to make. If you talk of that Bullets goal, to really judge that the ball had crossed the line or not, it's very difficult. Even in developed countries across Europe, that's why they have the video assistant referee or the goal line technology, because some of these decisions, a human eye cannot actually make or judge, come up with the best decision in some of these situations. So we cannot conclude that referees are failing their job, although in some situations, like the Wanderers goal, it's questionable because it looked a bit clear that the Wanderers player was onside as to opposed to how the referee saw it. And in the same game also between Wanderers and Silver, the first Wanderers goal that Peter Chiropi scored looked to have been scored from an offside position. So it was the same assistant referee that gave them the goal that looked to have been scored from an offside position. The same one also disallowed their goal, which has prompted Wanderers to file a complaint with Sulum. So you cannot really say the referees are failing their job, but this guy, at the end of the day, they are human. They make mistakes as well.
All right. Now, away from that, it seems like to be very tough. So I don't want to comment anything on that. Anyways, let's talk about get revenue that was generated in both matches. So for the game that was played in the Longway between Wanderers and Silver, 23 million was generated, but the teams ended up walking away with 1.7 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And now yesterday's game between Bullets and Civil Service, they generated almost 14 million, and the teams actually walked away with 3 million kwacha. Make it make sense.
It doesn't make sense indeed. Before I walked into the studios, I was talking to the Vice General Secretary of the Super League of Malawi. He hasn't come up with a response yet, but it really doesn't make sense, and it looks unfair to the players, because when you talk about football, this whole movie of football, the main actor is the footballer himself. So when football teams are getting less money, in the Wanderers Silver match, you're talking of the ticketing expenses hitting over 4 million kwacha, a security over 4 million kwacha, and the teams combined getting 3.4 million kwacha, which is quite unfair. I think something has to be done in terms of how the other expenses are tallied. 23 million kwacha realized, expenses 17 million plus, only expenses. You wonder what are some of these expenses or that are taking up all the money, instead of having the larger chunk of the money going to the teams themselves, because it cannot be a game of football without the players, without the teams. So it is high time that the Super League of Malawi, even the Football Association of Malawi, some of these things have to be revised so that teams can get more from their sweat.
Indeed, it would be demotivating for somebody to actually work hard and actually get nothing at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So you're right. Something has to be done, and we hope the authorities are going to do something about it.
Yes, we are waiting to hear from Sulom as well as those in charge.
We are also waiting to hear from you.
When they give out the response, I'll be back here to tell you what the Super League of Malawi. Yeah, because the question is as Sulom, are you also concerned with what is happening? So they haven't responded to that one.
All right.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So that is Norbert Jamison, our sports analyst here at MBC, shedding more light on those issues. And well, that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A recap of our top stories before we leave. The International Monetary Fund pledges support to bail Malawi out of its forex situation. Over 4,000 people in dire need of urgent support after being affected by disasters since the onset of the 2025-2026 rainy season. And in sports, Mighty Wanderers right Sulom on poor match officiation. For more updates, visit our digital platforms by scanning the QR code at the top right corner of your TV screen. You were with me, Eveles Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good afternoon.
Peza ni chisangalalo cha banja lanu lonse.